In the past 2 seasons of Formula E, we've seen a long run of different race winners. In Season 5, we were 8 races into the championship before a driver returned to the top step of the podium. And so far this season, we're 5 races in with 5 different winners. And a trend is starting to show. Every race winner has struggled in the following race, either not making it onto the podium, or in some cases, not finishing in the points, or even finishing at all.
I'm out.
So, what is it that makes it so hard for drivers to succeed in back-to-back races in Formula E? Is it the championship layout and the pressures of a one-day format and challenging group qualifying, or is it a winner's curse? Well, let's try and find out by recapping on the season so far. Sam Bird took the first win of the season in Diriyah after climbing his way up the order from 5th, with the pace of the Envision Virgin racing car looking impressive.
Great stuff, mate. Eyes forward, let's go.
But the following day and in Group 1 of qualifying, things didn't go greatly for Bird, qualifying 7th. But contact with Mitch Evans and then Pascal Wehrlein resulted in a DNF.
What the is Sam doing?
It was the same circuit from the day before, he showed similar pace, so what was it that made Bird's performance in round 2 so contrary to the day before? Well, first, let's recap on how qualifying works in Formula E. A qualifying session begins with group qualifying, with the groups being decided based on the championship standings. So, if you're in the top 6 in the standings, you'll be in the first qualifying groups, and have to go out when the track is at its slowest and dirtiest, with only 1 lap to put the fastest time possible on the board. Diriyah is a circuit that evolves a great deal throughout the qualifying groups and the race, more so than most of the circuits on the calendar. Dust, sand, track temperature, and a dirty racing line plays into the ability to put in a fast, clean lap in the one chance available for each driver. Something Sam Bird had to contend with being in Group 1 of qualifying in round 2 after topping the standings due to his race win the day before. So when it came to the race, starting from 7th, did Bird push too hard to make up the places and push for a second race win? Was it that pressure and need to push his way up the field that cost him? Or was it down to the track evolution and being the first out in qualifying? Alec Sims led BMW I Andretti Motorsport to their first win of the season in round 2, possibly the closest driver to be in contention for back-to-back wins, having started both rounds 1 and 2 on pole. But is there a possibility that Sims would have suffered the same qualifying struggles as Bird if he had won the first race? And did the strategy mix-up that cost him the win the day before benefit him in round 2 by being in a more favourable group for qualifying, helping him to put it on pole again? Either way, what seemed like a winner's curse didn't stop there. On the back of his win and position in the championship, Sims headed out for qualifying in Group 1. A disappointing lap for the British driver as we saw the lap times quicken group by group, with Sims starting the race 15th on the grid. Things didn't get much better for him in the race either, thanks to early contact with André Lostra and his Porsche, causing Sims to retire from the race and his teammate Maximilian Günther take the win. The curse continued. At this point, BMW had won 2 of the 3 races so far, so surely they would be in with a shot to break any curse. But alas, having been crowned the youngest driver to win a Formula E race a few weekends before, Günther now had another challenge on his hands as it was his first time in Group 1 of qualifying. Even though we've seen drivers make it into Superpole from Group 1 on multiple occasions, it didn't happen for Günther on the day. He started the race 16th and finished 11th, with Mitch Evans' dominant race win and impressive pace showing great promise for the Panasonic Jaguar racing driver to win again come Marrakesh.
Yes, guys! You guys nailed that.
At this point, it seemed as if a trend was emerging with the qualifying groups, making it difficult for drivers to qualify well enough to put them in a more competitive position in the race. But we've seen drivers many times in Formula E battle their way from the back of the grid to a podium position or better. So there has to be more to it than just the qualifying format. The pressure on the teams and drivers to find every 100th of a second they can between practice and the one-shot qualifying format can often lead to interesting tactics adopted by the teams. In Marrakesh, the Jaguar team were trying to balance the track being as optimal as possible for qualifying and leaving enough time for Evans to complete his full power lap. But the margins were too close and they left it too late, meaning Evans, regardless of the fact he was matching the pace of the fastest time in the group, didn't start his fast lap before the lights turned red.
I'm a Delta 11 seconds up, so we thought you were 6 seconds at sector 2. We were comfortable. So something's not right somewhere.
He started the race from the back of the grid and made up an impressive 18 places, finishing 6th. Again, proof that he had the package and pace to challenge Da Costa for the win. The curse struck again, but this time, given the fact that Da Costa made it into Superpole from Group 1 and went on to lead and win the race, a comparable lap time could have provided Evans with the same opportunity. But the challenges of a race day format and the fine margins we see in Formula E got the better of the Jaguar team. Will round 6 break the curse? Everything is aligned for that to be the case. A win from pole for Da Costa in Marrakesh, regardless of the fact that he was in Group 1 for qualifying, and all of that on the back of 2 second-place finishes in the races prior. If he and Diaz Chichita can match that one-lap pace and impressive race performance, there is every chance that round 6 could provide us with our first double race winner of the season. But if we know anything about Formula E, it's that nothing is predictable and everything can change come race day.